Says we're preparing to go live.
I always kind of hold my breath,
Is it gonna work? And we're live. All right. There we go. So good morning, my time. Good afternoon to other people. It is Mental Wellness Monday, and I am so excited to be here today, not just by myself. I am here with a special guest. And so if you are new, here in the group, we have some new members. Welcome to Purpose Passion Path. My name is Jody Solberg, and I am a mental wellness coach and a certified hypnotherapist. And I help women, specifically professional women, to be able to get unstuck. I help them tap into the power of their subconscious mind to overcome those mindset blocks. So those limiting beliefs, to heal past hurts, to be able to really pinpoint and get clarity around exactly what is not letting them get to that next level in their personal and professional lives, and then create a plan to move forward and to get to that next level, to be able to up level in whatever that means to you. And Mondays, we do Mental Wellness Mondays. And usually I'm here much later in the day, but today I'm here early because of scheduling and because I have a beautiful guest with me. And we have been talking over these last couple of months through May and June. We were talking all about focus, and we were talking about burnout. And to me, professional women have both of those that go hand in hand, right? Because when you can focus and you can really take what's most important to you and you can put that focus into it and have boundaries around your time and have some, time off, important things, right? If you have that good self-care and you have that awareness, you're going to be able to beat burnout. And so I've been creating some programs around focus. And as you probably saw here in the group, we just had a big announcement that I am collaborating with my good friend and business strategy coach, Charisse Burton, and we are teaming up to give you the Formidable Focus Movement. And so she is here today for us to talk a little bit more about the movement, what it is, what's happening, and to really have you be introduced to her, because I know that a lot of you, Charisse is new. And Charisse and I go way back. So I'm going to let you talk, Charisse, introduce yourself, and then we'll chat a little bit about what we have going on.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me, Jody. I'm so excited to be here. I love getting to meet new people. I have been an entrepreneur for about 17 and a half years. My name is Charisse Burton, and I am a business strategy coach, and I am truly the business strategy coach for females on the brighter side of 30. And what that means is we did not necessarily grow up with this in our hand, which I have us on here right here. We did not grow up with this phone in our hand, and we had to do some pivoting and some juggling and some learning to figure out how to make all this technology stuff work. And we've done it, and we're crushing it. And so I am that strategy coach that really takes you where you are right now, and I bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And I do that through leveraging social media. I do that through magnificent magnetic messaging, as well as all things strategy based. I will just sometimes sit down and figure out a strategy just for fun. So I really enjoy doing that. I love watching women grow. I love watching women. I love seeing that look on their face when they finally see, I got this. I can do this. That look, that feeling, that sound that comes out of their voice just makes me happier than anything I could possibly imagine. It's my thing. I love that. So I'm super excited to be here to work with Jody. It's so funny. We have been talking about very similar topics in the focus area, but coming from different perspectives, just because of, the areas that we work. And so we kind of we were talking about some things. I was getting her opinions about some things, and we just figured that we would have a great program if we got together. And so that's what we did. And that's why I'm here.
Yay. And so many people in my audience, of course, working with professional women, are entrepreneurs. And so I just thought, this is something that I see a need in our community for is, taking those aha moments. And that's one of my favorites too. When you see clients have breakthroughs, it's the best. But taking all of the clarity and the awareness and figuring all the things out that we do with our deeper work when I work with clients and taking it to that next level. Now, I'm also certified in business coaching. And so I definitely know, about business. I've been in business for, 20 years myself and I can help my clients with that, but that isn't my zone, right? That's not that genius zone for me. It's something that, I can definitely support them in. But Charisse, having known her for so many years, is just the queen of messaging. And she can absolutely help me. We both have strategies, one of our top strengths.
Mhm.
And so I love that about her. It's one of my favorite things to be able to figure out a solution and figure out a strategy. And so I thought that we would just go so well together. Like she said, she always says we're like two sides of a coin. We have this different perspective. I can bring that, mindset piece. I can bring in that working in your own strengths, figuring out what those are, really tapping into who you are. I'm a huge believer in being successful, being you, not trying to fit into someone else's version of that, because we all have different lives, but as women we all play so many different roles. And so how to have that work-life harmony is my passion and helping women do that. And then Charisse, takes over where she can help you really implement these focus strategies so that you're not working all the time and you don't feel like you need to work all the time. You can really take that part of what she does, and you can be really effective, right? That's that effectiveness part of that focus. I love that so much. So when we get together, we can talk for hours and strategize on everything, and it's the best. And Sharice and I have had some really great, deep conversations. I have helped her in the past.
Mhm.
We've had conversations because I work with a lot of women around their purpose and how to fulfill that and how to, create a life that is aligned with that and aligned with their values. And Sharice and I had some great conversations. Like she said, she's been in business for 17 plus years. But when she wanted to make shifts, you all have heard about my shifts, the
Mhm.
lifestyle shifts I made in my career. And when she wanted to make some of those shifts, we had some really great conversations about, what her purpose is and how to create this private coaching practice
Mhm.
around that, how to fulfill that through that. And so it's so amazing to me. It's such a joy to watch you work, Charisse, to watch you with your clients. And so I'm so thrilled to be doing this with you because we really get to do that together now. And so, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about what the Formidable Focus Movement is? What are we going to be doing?
Well, I think that the thing that is the most exciting to me is that, like you said, we are basically two sides of the same coin. And Jody is phenomenal at, kind of figuring out and helping you figure out and giving you um, the ability to find your strengths and knowing your zone of genius. And so I love that. Then I will be able to come in and figure out the strategies to keep those things in place, to figure out how to strengthen those boundaries. And I always talk about the precautionary steps that we have to make that sometimes we don't think about. We will be able to look at the pattern. We're going to do that a lot in this formidable focus movement. Look at the pattern of the distractions, what's causing things to happen, and then building a strategy to keep them from happening in the future. So I'm very excited about that. We're going to help you continue your growth and focus. We've talked about whether you are struggling with it now or you've struggled with it in the past. If you have ever been that person ever that has said, if I just could focus, or if you're the person who's like, I wonder if that idea would work better than what I'm doing right now. If that has been something that you've struggled with, this is where you need to be, because we're going to tackle those areas specific. I talk about the attention deficit bling disorder, chasing the shiny things. That's my
That's
personal
one of my
phrase
favorite
for
sayings.
me. That's me. I have attention deficit bling disorder, or the rabbit, chasing the rabbit trails, or the squirrel mentality. All of those things, I think, because you mentioned, like we have, as women, we wear so many different hats. And so it is difficult for us sometimes to keep our focus. It is difficult for us sometimes to have our boundaries solid, or to have things in place that will prevent those boundaries from weakening. That's where I come in. That's one of the strategies. So we're going to tackle those areas, which is going to be fantastic. It's going to be every Monday, the month of August. We're going to go through the first 4, and then we're going to have a celebration at the end, because that's one of the things I've learned from Jody that's been so important is celebrating and getting your cup refilled. So we're going to specifically make the last Monday a celebration Monday. So I am very excited about all of those things and working with Jody in this particular movement, and the fact that this is just a foundational program, meaning there will be more to come that you don't want to miss.
Yes, we will lay the foundation, right? Lay the
Yes,
foundation.
this is going to be building.
Yeah, because it's not about learning how to focus. Like sometimes you'll do a course, or you'll listen to somebody, you'll read a book, and it's like, okay, you need to do this, and this is how your morning routine needs to be, or whatever it is. And you learn how to focus, and it's for a minute or a week, or maybe it lasts a month, and then it kind of falls by the wayside. This is about that lasting strategy, something that is real and lasting change. I talk about that a lot in my work. It's not just about, mowing over the weeds, as I always say, right? It's like we really get to that root cause and figure out what is holding you back, or what is causing distraction in your life, because there tends to be a pattern. Right? There always tends to be a pattern. And I know Charisse is no stranger to distractions. She has 4 now growing and grown boys and her husband. Yeah, well, they're still distracted. And that's the thing.
Still distractions.
They're busy. They're it's like when you're a boy mom, you're busy. And I consider husbands, your husband's amazing. I consider them like an extra child in some ways, because we do run their lives still. Even though they're grown and they take good care of us too, we take care of everybody. And so for you, having run a business throughout raising these boys, I'm sure you have learned so much just personally on how to manage everything.
Sometimes out of necessity, sometimes out of literally putting my hands aside my head on the thing in front of me, and learning, okay, this might have to be my boundary right now for the next 30 minutes, these 2 things, because we do have just things coming at us all the time. And, when we need to get to a certain place, or we have a specific goal, the boundaries are so important. I think I talked about last time, the guardrails. I always look at them as guardrails to keep you from going off the edge, or going into the weeds, or into the forest. The guardrails are going to keep you on the path to that place. Now, there might be rest stops along the way, which are perfectly okay, but the boundaries, the guardrails, have to be solid, and they have to be something that we can have things in place to keep them solid, so that we can get from point A to point B or point C. And so those are some of the things that we're going to tackle as well. It's just like, imagine your toolbox. This will be a program that's going to give you tools in your toolbox, not just for now, but in the future. In the future, whenever you are wanting to grow to another level, or you're wanting to hit another goal, or really anything that happens in your life that you need to stay focused on, you can pull these tools out that we're going to provide for you and show you how to use and have more strength in those areas. You know, working in your strengths are so important, so important. And being able to recognize those strengths are so important. And then being able to protect those strengths and stay on the path, so important. And like we talked about, this is a foundational program, which I'm excited about, which means we really are going to have more programs after this that are going to build. They're not there. They will have some standalone parts, but they will also be great in building upon each other, that are just going to make you stronger and stronger in the direction that you want to go. So I mean, this is just the beginning of something I think that is going to be absolutely epic.
Oh my gosh. I see. This is why I love Charisse so much. She speaks my language. I love talking about boundaries. And that is, I think, something that is so neglected. People don't know how to set the boundaries. They don't know how to enforce the boundaries for themselves and others, and teaching yourself as well as others how to respect your boundaries, teaching other people how to treat you and your business.
Well, as women, we feel guilty if we a lot of times will feel guilty about keeping our boundaries too. You know, and that's something that I encounter with other women and some of my clients, is the guilt that is just really unnecessary, but we put on ourselves. That's a huge area.
Yeah, so we'll definitely be touching on all of those things. And like Charisse said, this is only the beginning, but this is definitely the prerequisite, right, for everything to come. And we are planning on the continuation of working together. But this particular program, this is going to be our introductory program, and it's at an amazing price point to be able to give everyone the opportunity to work with us. But this is definitely, something that is going to fill up, and it is going to run out, because like she said, we are going to be doing this throughout the month of August. Now, a couple things to know is that we are capping this because we are, in addition to having these calls each Monday, these group calls, we're also doing a private Voxer group. So we're doing access to us and to the group, which is going to be really great. It's great for accountability. It's great for support. You can ask questions throughout the week, but we want to be able to have this be more high touch. And so we can only have so many people in there. There's 2 of us. So we can help a decent amount of people, but we're going to have to cap it a little bit. So know that. Also know that everything will be recorded. So if it doesn't work on your time zone, or you have to miss a week, or whatever the case may be, we are actually going to have a course portal where everything is going to be in it. So you're going to have access to the replays, any tools and worksheets, things like that. And you will have access to that for the foreseeable future. As long as you want access to that, you can come back and revisit those tools. Because like Charisse said, you're going to need to come back and you're going to need to utilize those over and over again. And so having access to that to us was really important. So you're going to be able to get that. And so you're going to get us live, and again, on replays if you need it. So don't let that hold you back. If you feel like you can't do that, well, it's okay, because you're going to have that live access throughout the week on your time frame to be able to send us messages and ask questions, get feedback, be able to get some things tweaked. I think that's really important to support the group as a whole too, to really have that mastermind. You might meet your next biz bestie in this program that you can really collaborate with and have as accountability partners. I think that's really important. And that's something that we're going to encourage in the group, is for people to really connect and get to know one another and be in that support of each other. Because going through this, you are going to hit some of those roadblocks, or you might have a little bit of that kind of guilt, shame, blame train going on, where you feel guilty a little bit about setting those boundaries at first, because sometimes you get a little pushback right in the beginning. But long term, it will benefit you so much. And having other people to support you through that and to help you through the summer. I mean, we did this for a reason, right? We chose August because what do people do, Charisse? They say, when summer's over, I'll do this.
Yes.
When school's back in, I'll do this. When school gets out and the holidays are over, I'll do this. Is it something we do as women?
The beginning of the new year, I'll start this. we just put things off. And I think I was thinking as you were talking about what value they are getting,
Yeah.
that everybody's going to be getting, because, I've been in business for a little over 17 years. Jody's been in business for 20 years. So you're getting almost 40 years of experience combined. And that's why the price point is ridiculous.
It really is. I mean,
It's a little ridiculous.
We wanted to make it so easy. We wanted to just make it a no-brainer to be like, you know what?
Such a need. Exactly. It is such a need right now. And especially, like she said, it's such a need right now, because when we have all those things in our plate, we do tend to go, oh, when school starts, or when Christmas is over, or when the holidays are, or the new year, or after spring break. And then we just, we find ourselves back in the same place, and we didn't move anywhere, but it's a year later or 5 years later. That's not really a fun place to be when you're wanting to move forward. And so that's kind of why this timing is perfect.
It really is. And it's going to be teaching how to focus, even when it's sunny outside, or even when it's vacation time, or even when, you have life happen, right? How can you focus and really feel good about still getting the important things done, but doing the important things? The other thing I think that happens a lot of times with female entrepreneurs is we do a lot of things, but we avoid doing the important things. So we're just ticking, check marks on boxes. We're just like, oh, I got this done. I got this done. I got this done. But it's nothing that gets them closer to their goals or where they want to be. They're busy. We're all so busy, but are you actually becoming who you want to be? Are you doing the things that are going to get you there? Are you actually putting your values first in order? Are you prioritizing the right way? So we're going to talk a lot about that too. So like I said, summer is the perfect time to do this, because you're going to have a chance to, in a smaller amount of time. It's not going to take a lot out of your time. That was one of the ways we designed this, is we wanted to make sure that it is summer. So we're going to have, classes that are going to be an hour or a little under. We're going to, give you some things to do, but it's going to just lay the foundation, like Charisse said, so that you can hit the fall running, right? You can get to past Labor Day and not feel like you wasted the whole summer, fighting off the mosquitoes if you live in the Northwest.
Or even here, they've been terrible in Texas.
Has it been there too?
Crazy.
Like, I feel like my whole life is trying to figure out how to kill mosquitoes, how to fix mosquito bites, how to get mosquitoes out.
And I don't ever get bit. And I mean, I can't even hardly go outside. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, stop focusing on that. Focus on some other things. Well, the mosquitoes are apparently really good at their job. And so, we need to get really focused on ours, right? We need to get focused on how to have that work-life harmony so that you can do both, no matter what's happening in your life. Sometimes they're going to go like this a little, and it's okay, right? Some things are going to be higher priority right now, and some things are going to be a little bit lower, but you won't feel the guilt of working, or not working when you're with your family. A lot of times we're with our family and we're like, I should be working, I should be doing this. Or you're working, your family's like, why are you always working? Or, come spend time with us. That's the worst, when kids are like, you're always on the computer. And I hear that a lot from moms, and they feel so bad. It's like, no, if you properly prioritize, nobody's jealous, nobody's feeling guilt, nobody's having a hard time. You're respecting the fact that you're working. And for a lot of women, that is just feels like such a pipe dream. And so we're going to give it to you. We're going to give you all the strategy and all the mindset piece. We're going to give you everything you need to really create that life that you want. We all wanted to be able to work from home for a reason.
Right.
And it wasn't to feel guilty.
No. But we still have to have a business that runs so that we can do the things we want to with our family. So right. I love that Jody uses the word harmony and not balance, because I feel like balance is a misconception. It is that your life needs to be harmonious. And that does mean sometimes this might be a little bit more important over here. And then sometimes this might be a little bit, and it just kind of goes back and forth. And that's okay. In fact, that's the plan. That's the goal, to work in that manner without guilt and accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Oh, exactly. Yes. The harmony is huge. When anytime someone says balance, it sounds like so much work to me. It sounds like constantly trying to make sure that your scale is exact.
Exactly.
And like, that's what women drive themselves nuts trying to do. Literally, we're like at our wits' end. You're pulling your hair out. You were like, how is this possible? Why do these people on Instagram look like they have these perfect little lives where like everything's like in balance? And it's not realistic. It's just not at all. And so, yeah, we're going to teach you how to do the harmony. But yeah, that's one of my pet peeves. I cannot stand that.
I am the same way. Every time somebody says balance, I just want to go, I gotta, but I know,
fix you.
But I know it just is like, to me, it's like fingers on a chalkboard, because it automatically gives you that unrealistic, unreachable goal in your head, but it is unreachable. The balance, it's just never going to happen that it's equal. But harmony is, to me, peaceful. And that's the way you want your life and your business to run, with peace.
Yes. Peace, joy, fulfillment, being able to breathe, right? Not hold our breath constantly on this like wire where we're trying to balance. Really being able to breathe and enjoy your life. That's what it's about. We want you to enjoy your summer. It is gorgeous outside, right? We want you to enjoy it. We want you to enjoy your family. We want you to be able to do all those things and make progress in your business at the same time. So I cannot wait for this to start. I went ahead and put the link in the comments to check out more information about the Formidable Focus movement. You can register there as well, but definitely let us know if you have questions. Make sure you let us know if you are watching the replay. And if you do have any questions, you can message us or you can put them in the comments. We will come back and answer them. But Charisse, I'm just so excited to be working with you. I know we keep saying how excited we are, but we just have so much fun together. So that is truly the word for it. Yeah, it really is. And thank you so much for coming in and getting
I loved it.
Introduction to the group. Because I want you, to be seen as another guest expert here, somebody who can answer questions and, is someone that people can look to for all of that business and strategy and messaging. Charisse is your gal for that. Absolutely. And I cannot wait for this inaugural group in the movement. I started calling them movers, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
The movers.
So I started calling them movers. Yes. I'm excited about I was like, focusers doesn't sound right. So our inaugural group here in the movement to join us and have as much fun with us as we are having here with each other. And really, I just am so grateful to have you as a biz bestie, as a friend, and now as a partner in this program. So again, thank you so much. You will be seeing more of Charisse. You'll see more of me on Thursday. I'll be back for Thoughtful Thursday at our normal time. And we will look forward to working with you all. Thank you. Have an amazing rest of your day. And remember to give yourself grace always. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and have a blessed week. See y'all soon.
Bye.